Colleen. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm so glad to see you, and I wanted to tell you that today's video is in the car. Today's a carpool conversation, a much more informal video. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around. Okay, so today I'm talking about sick kids. It's so hard this time of year because everybody gets sick, especially the little ones. No matter what you do, wash hands, keep things clean, cover your mouth. You can't avoid it. Germs are everywhere. So it's hard when they're home, because if you watched my video about being a stay-at-home mom, one of my strategies for being a stay-at-home mom and to stay sane is to go out to play dates or to join moms groups or to be out of the house. But when you have a kid that's sick, you can't go anywhere. You are stuck at home. And that can feel very suffocating. Although lately for me, I'm really tired anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'd rather stay home actually sometimes. But if you need to get out and do things, it's hard because now you have to make sure somebody is going to be available to watch your kiddo. But the problem is your kiddo is sick. And who wants to watch a sick kid? And it's hard when you're working. So last year when I was working full time, my kids got sick, of course, because kids get sick. And fortunately, my husband's job is flexible and he can work from home. I'm not in that type of position. I can't bring students to my house. So he had to stay home, and I tried to get home as quickly as possible from work because I know how hard it is to have a child at home who doesn't feel well. And the one thing that happens in my house is my kids don't act sick unless they're really, really sick. So they could be too sick to be in school, like have a low-grade fever, have a fever over 100, but feel fine, and they get bored and they're cranky, not because they don't feel well, but because they're bored and there's nothing they can do. I can't take them anywhere. So those days are really, really long. So today was one of those days. Fortunately, one of my teenagers is watching my youngest, so that's helpful. And I'm glad we're in that position now, but I remember the days when we were not in that position. So that meant oftentimes if I had to pick up one kid, the sick kid had to come along for the ride. So they brought their blanket and stayed in their PJs and napped sometimes in the car. So do you have strategies for surviving the cold and flu season without going crazy, being locked up? How are you preventing getting sick yourself? And how are you coping when your kids are sick and you are locked inside? TV is an easy option, but there's only so much TV you can watch in a day. I try to limit the time that they watch TV because they just get crabby, and it's not fun to be with those type of people. Sick people who are crabby because they've been just sitting there doing nothing are really unhappy people, which makes for an unhappy mom. So I limit the TV time. We do listen to audiobooks, fortunately. That's something that my son can do by himself. You know, he doesn't need me to turn it on for him. He can use the smart speaker. He can turn on the book that he wants, and he can go and listen to that, play with his Legos, or just play quietly in his room. That doesn't last very long, though. Today's 2 days straight of my son being home, and he feels better today, but last night he had a fever, and so he can't go to school. So he's stuck at home, and he's bored. And I was working. I've been editing videos, and I'm working on an evaluation report for an evaluation. So I'm busy, and that's hard. So he's been bored a lot today, which actually I don't mind. You know what? I really think kids aren't bored enough these days. Great things happen when kids get bored. They get more creative. They figure things out on their own. They find ways to entertain themselves. Sometimes they get so bored that they clean up. That doesn't happen often. But I do like the idea of having kids get bored for a little bit and feel what it feels like to be bored. We live in a world where there's constant stimulation, and that's not good for anybody. So days like today provide all of us a moment to be quiet and focus on quiet things. Yeah, I spent some time on Twitter, and of course I need to use the computer in order to write my report and to edit my videos. But for the most part, it's quiet. And I'm not looking for entertainment. I'm busy using my brain. And that's what I'm trying to get my kids to do. To think. To be creative. But that can be hard when they are climbing the walls. So the first couple of days that you are coming off of TV or constant stimulation, the kids will drive you nuts. Mom, 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 Mom. They constantly want you to let them watch TV. They think that if they pester you enough, you're going to let them watch TV. And it takes patience and a lot of time to get them to realize they're not going to get the TV, that you said no. And it's worth it. Because honestly, it's exhausting as a parent to try and make sure the kids have entertainment all the time. And why am I responsible for entertaining you? My job is not entertainment. Nope. I am not the entertainment. So getting them to learn to not expect that takes time, and it's hard, but it's possible. I've done it. With 3 kids, I think we've depended more on television than we have in the past, or more on technology than we have with the other kids, because you are no longer one-on-one. When you have 1 kid or 2 kids, you can divide up the kids and they have more time with you. They don't have to wait as much. You're able to focus on that individual quite easily. By the time you get a 3rd one, and I imagine with the 4th and 5th one, you are divided. You cannot be there for everything. So they have more freedom in some ways because I can't be there monitoring everything. What gets a little bit hard is when more than 1 kid has a problem at a time and it's just one of you. But you can always feel guilty for not being able to spend all that time that you want to spend one-on-one with each child. Or you can take a look at it as a learning experience for all of you. So they learn lots of really great things when you are busy with another kid. They learn to regulate their own emotions. They learn to solve problems on their own. They learn to be independent. They learn patience. Because in life, you don't get everything you want immediately. We have to teach our kids to wait. And that gets more and more challenging in our world because everything is instantaneous and they have everything that they could possibly ever want immediately. So I look at the fact that with more children, they need to be more independent. I've also really been trying to bring home the idea that mom and dad are not the slaves. Mom and dad are not the only people who live in this house. And everybody is capable of helping out around the house. And you don't have to be told to do it. You can notice that there are dishes in the sink and you can just do them. It's so funny that they complain so much when I ask them to do something. They get so indignant that I've asked them to put away dishes or switch the laundry over. And then they get even more angry when I tell them that, oh, yeah, I was responsible for clearing the table, doing the dishes, making meals, doing laundry, cleaning up my room. Like, I did all sorts of things on my own. Not that my parents were sitting around, right? My parents worked very hard. We were expected to help around the house. So I want my kids to learn, I want to give my kids more advantages. I really do. And this is where the pull is. I want them to be thankful for what they have. But you can't be thankful for what you have unless you don't have it. And that's something that's hard for me and my husband. It's very hard for us because we just want to give them everything. We want them to succeed. We want them to reach their potential. They're smart, they're capable, they're wonderful human beings. We know that they can go out in the world and make a difference. But in order to get them to do those incredible things and realize that they couldn't have done that otherwise, I have to take away some of those privileges. And that's really what it is. It's privilege. But I don't have to make sure they go to sports or other activities. I don't have to take them on vacations. I am not required to be the one who makes sure that they have all of their outfits that they want for the week clean and folded and ready to go. No. So it's easier for me to do it. Absolutely, right? But it's not teaching them the skills that they need. It's not teaching them to be thankful for what they have. I'm tired of hearing kids just demand stuff. My kids, really? My children demanding things from me? That's ridiculous because I did not teach them to do that. Where did that come from? Their parents are very humble people, and we say thank you, and we are very appreciative for everything we have because we've had to work hard for everything we have. Nobody gave us anything. Anything we have earned. And we want them to understand that too. We want them to have that sense of pride because you are the one who's working hard to achieve something, and maybe it wasn't simple and you had to work hard to be able to do it. So if you have ideas for how to teach kids to be humble and to be thankful and to know that we don't have to give them everything. If you have ways to teach that to kids, I'd love to hear it. Please leave a comment down below. So I think that about wraps it up for today. It was nice chatting with you. It's nice to have somebody to talk to in the car. If you enjoyed this type of video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you think somebody else might like this video, please share it. And consider subscribing to this channel if you like this type of content. Small channels like mine don't get noticed unless there are likes and subscribers, and that's why I ask for it during each video. That helps YouTube to see that I am providing meaningful and quality content, and then they will start to recommend my videos in your home screen. So please show that you do actually like my content, and like it and share it and subscribe. And if you ring the bell, you'll get notified every time I upload. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye now.